Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody. Today's matchup features two teams eager to come away with a late season win. It's the Jets going up against the Raiders. So, with the call of this week's 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, thank you very much. A steady shower falling right now, and that's going to be the norm throughout this one. We are told rain all over the radar here in Oakland. Tonight, we've got one last present under the tree, our final Monday Nighter of the year, between the New York Jets and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, it's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
Set to go now on a wet and rainy night. And off we go from Oakland. This is fielded a couple yards deep. What a spin. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line.
Return team. Automatic first down.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Raiders a first down.
And that's the kind of start every team wants to have when they touch the football for the first time. Here at night especially, because all day long you've been around the hotel. Yeah, you've had meetings, you've had meals, but you've been chomping at the bit to play. And depending on the time of year you play a game, early in the season, you probably like night games. But as the season goes on, most guys like day games because they won't wait around all the time. So taking charge early in a night game is a very important factor.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Great protection. He's going to go for a big play. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because you usually have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, That's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And that's incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, now 4th down. On now is the field goal team here as the Raiders will try for 3. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And his kick is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You've got something positive on the board, and you got the early lead.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to cut it. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
They need a block in the back. Offense.
And, of course, the defense is going to accept this penalty. They go play action here on first down. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, trying to start it out with a bang. But it's second down. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
On play action, they'll throw. Eluding the play. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Second down sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see.
All right, here we go. Let's go.
Play clock winding down. Out of the gun now on third down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, at quarterback. Here to his running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. And Mr. Cooper, Amari, a headliner in this offensive unit.
Brandon, it's rare that you get guys so polished coming out of college, but Amari Cooper has carried himself like a pro probably since he was 6 years old. He is a terrific talent.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that. Couple of Jets there in on the stop. And a look now at how the Jets line up defensively.
Leonard Williams was one of the top draft picks coming out of USC, and he's done nothing to diminish the comparisons people make of past greats.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run.
Let's go. Green 3.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Here's the Raiders punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is taken at the 18. There he goes right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. 82 yards. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown.
Hey, rookie, that's the way to make an impression. Return one for a touchdown.
Yeah, welcome to the party. We saw him fielding those punts before the game, and he just had a little bit of a look in his eye, didn't he?
He did. He was a confident young man, and now we know why.
Extra point attempt to follow here. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster. It all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to his defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
So 2nd down, 3 yards to go now. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Holding offense. A penalty is declined.
Third and 4.
Got his left. Got his left. Hey. Hang on now. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Jets take possession. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to roam now. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. And partner Emmitt Smith now moves to number 2. His record of 165 career rushing touchdowns has been broken. What else can you say but wow?
I have no other words but wow, because Emmitt Smith set the standard. A guy that always found his way into the end zone. That record has now been eclipsed. The only thing our new record holder has to worry about, will Emmitt come back and try and get his record back?
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A horde of Jets. Huge crew there to make the stop. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
I got 19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Going up top, and he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball, meaning a 50-50? The ball's in the air, defenders there, receivers there. Who's going to make a play on the football? And in this case, the defensive guys actually got it done and knocked it away.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. But look now at the Oakland defense as they get ready. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others. I have a feeling that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way. They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack, They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they like to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And, boy, the payoff was good.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Rolling to his left. And a quick throw here that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I think that should have been chalked up as a winning play for the defense, and they somehow beat it, didn't they? Right-handed quarterback flushed to his left, yet he finds his tight end on the left side of the field. That's a tough throw. What a great completion.
They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So out come the Raiders, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Here we go now. Lucky 56. Lucky pass.
Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go.
Out of the gun now on third down. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Check, Patriot! Patriot! No, check, Patriot! Patriot! Leopard! Leopard!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Offense working with a 3rd and 13 still left. They're going to look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. So as they take it over, we step aside. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top as we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. What's that? Now? Oh, we're back. Okay, well, something happened to Larry in the halftime show. I guess we're ready for the 3rd quarter. Let's go. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for...
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. We focus our attention now on the Jets defense. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense. They said, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And that defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 on the pickup there. And the Raiders are going to have a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Yeah, I think the blitz there really disrupted the draw.
Yeah, and it's usually when you catch them in a blitz, the draw works pretty well. If you're the offensive coordinator right now, that's visor throwing time, isn't it? Because that's supposed to work in a big way.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
35 yards that time on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. New York set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
They'll drop the throw, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A huge play there for the Jets. And even 40 yards. Fresh set of downs here.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
No. Check. Over. Here we go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders. So back-to-back games here of great production. And just, you know, his cuts, they're so quick last week and this week.
That comes from confidence, I think. He understands what the defense is trying to do. But I think he has so much belief in his offensive line that he's just saying the block's going to be there. I'm not worried about it. And we saw that last week. In fact, they were so good last week on the flight home. I actually plugged in the game and watched the offensive line play one more time. I was so impressed by them. And they're carrying it over to this week. And, of course, when you got a big-time runner behind them, that's a pretty good combination.
Doesn't hurt. So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not where they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got time. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Going to give this time to the tailback. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Jihad Ward. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Big sack on second down. Now the offense needs to convert here on third. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down.
All right, here we go. No. Check. Patriot.
The play clock's running down. Got to be careful here. Backed up. Down the numbers. There he goes. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 97 yards. And this Jets offense continues to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
This one caught left side by Cooper. 15 yards through the air and a first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Let's go. Here we go now. Here we go.
He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
2nd down now after the incompletion.
All right, here we go.
Now back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. 15 yards through the air and a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Amari Cooper, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
Here we go. Check. Patriot. 319.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Finding time. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside. Now that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Here we go now.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And the Jets have got it. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But
and the ball is knocked out. But they're able to maintain possession. Now it's second down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And they'll go on the ground. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one. He's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from tilting the rock that much.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll look to throw here. And he's got his man on the out route. And give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years.